Statements just wrapped up in the trial of a North Texas doctor accused of poisoning IV bags. Prosecutors say it started at a Baylor Scott and White Surgicare Center in 2019. At least one person died and 11 other patients suffered severe cardiac complications. Sydney Persing covered the trial all day and joins us now live from outside the federal courthouse in downtown Dallas. Sydney, what happened today in court?
Well, Izzy, we got through jury selection, but as you mentioned, the real interesting news today, that came from those opening statements. We learned new details about how that one woman died, and we also got some insight into how defense attorneys will rely on a fingerprint to help make their case. You might remember that cameras, they're not allowed inside federal court. So right now you are looking at old photos of Dr. Ortiz. Today, though, he sat in a courtroom, his hair long and grown out and gray, wearing a navy suit jacket and a white face mask. He listened quietly as federal prosecutors told the jury he not only caused multiple medical emergencies of patients, but also even that death of a fellow anesthesiologist, 55-year-old Melanie Casper, who worked at that same facility with Ortiz. She died, prosecutors say, after taking home one of those tainted IV bags to rehydrate herself. Prosecutors revealed today painful details about how she died at the top of the steps in her home, clutching her chest, screaming out for her husband. He tried to give her CPR himself, but prosecutors told the jury she died right there on the ground. Prosecutors also showed jurors videos like this, showing Ortiz either looking into an IV bag warmer or putting an IV bag in the warmer. But in their opening statements, Ortiz's defense attorneys said these videos do not tell the full story. They claimed prosecutors and investigators have suffered confirmation bias that Ortiz was, quote, a convenient person to blame for these medical emergencies, and that they're now showing selective portions of video to prove it. So they, the defense attorneys, played longer versions of the exact same videos for jurors and pointed to the fact that other doctors are seen on surveillance video putting bags in the warmer too. And as I mentioned, defense attorneys also pointed to a fingerprint they say they're going to rely on in making their case. They say prosecutors had a fingerprint tested that was found on the outside, the casing of one of those IV bags, and said prosecutors had that fingerprint tested against Ortiz's fingerprint, and that those did not come back as a match. Ortiz, as we know, has denied all the allegations against him. He pleaded not guilty today in federal court. If convicted on all counts, he could face life in prison. Izzy.
Sydney, before you go, quick question back to jury selection. What stuck out to you from the process today?
Yeah, well, Izzy, it took several hours. Lawyers went through 65 potential jurors. Obviously, they asked them a lot of questions. What stuck out to me is that several of the jurors in that jury pool said that they had heard about this case in some form. That's not surprising. This was big news at the time. But even more said that they had had a procedure at a Baylor Scott and White facility. So attorneys, the judge, they questioned those potential jurors on all of that. Ultimately, they settled on a jury of 8 women and 6 men. All of those folks due back here at federal court at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We will be here to cover day 2 of this very high-profile case. Izzy.